Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. My name is Paul Courtwright. Today I'm going to do a video, and I think this is number 10, on Peppermills, which is one of the things I enjoy doing. So what I got here is a pepper grinder with a salt shaker combo on it. It comes with all kinds of the parts and everything. It also comes with a set of instructions that basically goes through, tells you exactly what to do. Gives you the dimensions on kind of the dimensions of the wood and the holes to be drilled and everything else. We're going to use a piece of Clara walnut, which is a nice little piece of figured wood that I thought would be interesting to do. It's roughly 2 inches by 2 inches by about 6 inches long. And we're going to start out turning it between centers. So I'm going to adjust the camera and we'll get started. All right, so here's our block of wood. Again, I'm going to put this between centers. So the first thing we got to do is we got to mark our center on that. So we'll mark that, turn that around like that. We'll mark that one, flip it over and do the same thing to the other side, like that, and like that. So we got our center marked. Once we get our center marked, then we put her between centers. So I'm going to put this in my drive here. Run the tailstock up like so, get her tight, and adjust my tool rest. One of them safety things is you try not to adjust your tool rest while the lathe is running. So you try to get it straight, and you notice my tool rest is pretty high. The reason being is I am going to use my skew to round this off. I find I have pretty good luck doing that. So that's what we're going to start out with. So I got my face shield on, starter out, everything. We're going to get around. Here we go. So again, when you're rounding something out like this, start from the center and work out to the outer edge. I think I said this before, if you was to start out here and go in, think of it this way, is if you're petting your cat, and you take the cat from the head to the tail, the cat will let you pet it. If you pet the cat from tail to head, it won't like that too much, and you'll lift the fur. So we're going to round these corners off, and as you see, going from the center out, take it off, and you see the tip hitting my face shield. That's kind of the big reason you want to wear a face shield. At very least, safety glasses, which I've got a pair of safety glasses on as well. And you just want to protect the face, you know. Get it basically round, and then we'll go and move our tailstock there. That's pretty close. Move this over just a hair. All right, here we go. Then we're going to do it again to the other way. So like I said, I'm just taking the corners off. The other thing you might have noticed is when I cut my lathe off, I always tend to put the slow the lathe down, and that way when I turn it on, it's not going full blast, high speed. So, and I enjoy using the skew because I find I get a real nice cut out of it. Okay, so basically we're round. So I'm going to do with that one for a minute. I'm going to find my bidan, and I'm going to put a spigot on both ends, and then I got to cut off 2 inches here. So I'm going to put a spigot on this end, or a tenon. You're going to use my bidan to do so. That's the square. It's like a skew, but not quite a skew. So we're going to do that there, and put a tenon here on the end. It doesn't have to be very big, just enough to go in your chuck. About right there. And move this down, do the same thing over here. So we're going to go here. Nothing going there. Now the other thing that I want to do is I want to measure down 2 inches, because my top piece where the salt goes in is roughly 2 inches. So I want to cut it about right there. So you see there's a little bit of a high spot right there, which is fine. And I want to put a spigot on both ends because I got to drill that out and I want to hold that. So I'm going to use my small little skew and I'm going to start in there so I get it out in there. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll use the bidan here on this. I just want to put it in there and get a spigot in there. So I think I lost my mark. All right, here we go. All right, so that's where I want to be, right there. And all I want to do is put a tenon on both ends there. That should be plenty right there. And I want to mark this one last time where I'm going to cut it. Ooh, I didn't. So I might have to go over on that one just a little bit more. Got over there. So let's take a little bit more off this edge. There we are. And we're going to mark it one last time, and then we're going to part that over. I see my mark's still there. So I want to put a mark all the way around there to there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my parting tool here and I'm going to split that, and then I'll split it with my Japanese saw to get 2 pieces. So put that in there and just nice and easy, just kind of go in there. It's going to get warm. See all the smoke? I'm taking by it a little bit of a relief pack. Both sides. That should be good. And I'm going to cut that off. So I grab my Japanese saw here and we will split that. So got my lathe off and I just take and cut this. This shouldn't take us but a few seconds to cut through this. As I said, this block is roughly 2 inches square, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, we're just about there. I can tell by the way this saw is cutting. This is just basically a simple Japanese saw. And, well, I didn't quite all the way through yet. I thought I had. Let's see if I got it that time. Not quite yet. Not cooperating one bit. All righty, let's see if that did it. Yes, that's what I needed. So I'm gonna loosen my tailstock off. Now I got my 2 pieces here. So I got a top and a bottom. So this will be my bottom, and then this will be my top where the salt shaker is. So let's knock out our tailstock and our drive, and we'll take and put our chuck on, and let's see what size chuck I need. And do we need the small one or the large one? So I got my fancy dancy jig here. So it's going to be between there. So the smaller chuck won't work, so I need my larger one. So it's between these two, so I need my medium-sized chuck. So I got that right down here. All right. And we'll put this on here. And I got 3 different size chucks, and they work out real well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top first. I'm going to drill the top piece out, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to chuck this back up in my chuck here, and we'll drill the top out. So there's my top of the top right here. So this would be where the 2 go together, as I kind of want to keep the grain in line there. So I got to remember this is the part that goes to the center. So put that in my chuck here. All right, let's see how true it runs. Not bad. All right, so according to our drawing here, so our top, we're looking at it basically like this. This is the way it's sitting in there. And I've got, actually, I'm sorry, it's this way. That's the top. This is the inside. So I got to drill 1 1/16" hole up there. So I'm going to drill it about, I would say maybe somewhere in the range of maybe 1 inch down in there. So I got my drill chuck here, and 1 1/16". That would be this one right here. Move this back so we can get our drill bit in. Tighten this up. And I'm always testing gravity, you know. I want to make sure that I don't float away. And gravity work's still working today. So even though it snowed out, gravity's still in good shape. So we're good there. So don't have to worry about that part. All right, so I want to go down about roughly 1 inch, 1.5 inches or so. So I put my quill down at the marking of 1 inch. Run this up to there, and I'm going to drill, say, somewhere around 300 RPMs. Something about right there. Lock it down. Okay, there's where the bottom is. Push that right up in there. And we're drilling. We're drilling. And go about 1/2 inch, and then I'll stop, back it out, and clean out my drill bit. And I'll go down another 1/2 inch. I don't want to go all the way through because I got to drill the other side. So I'm going about 3/4 of an inch. And there's that part of it. So, all right. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to drill the other side of it. Okay. So this piece here, hang on. Sorry about that. Some of this piece is going to go in through there, and I can't put it in there. So we got to turn it around. That's why you put a tenon on both sides. And you always want to drill the larger hole first. So I got to take this out and put in 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So I got 1.5 inch Forstner bit here. Stick this into there. Tighten her down. And this one here, all I need to do is I need to go down. As you can see, I'm going to go down 1/4 inch. So my quill is set at 1 inch. So I'll go down 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to start in. Okay, it's touching. Back it off just a hair. Make sure I'm right on there. Which I'm just about up there. And I'm down 1/4 inch. I'm doing it nice and slow. I'm not going to get carried away here. There's 1/8. And there's my 1/4. Back out to 1 inch. Take that off, and I'll put my 1 1/16" bit back on. Put that back in there. And if you want to save a little time, which I'm not too concerned about it, probably should because I'm doing a video, probably do the top first and then flip it over and do the bottom, but it's 51, 50 another. So I'm at 1 inch. So again, I've already drilled through to extent there, so all I have to do is meet that. Part of the reason why you want to drill when you're drilling Peppermills out is to come in from both sides is, for whatever reason, if you're drilling and say the bit wanders a little bit and it gets off, then it would offset your hole when it comes time to do the other side. So you drill from both sides and meet in the middle, and it will line up a little better. So now our top part is done. Okay, top part is done, and you see that little bit there. So there's our top part. So again, this is the part that is going to be up on top, and then this will be on that end. So I'm trying to keep my grain lined up. So since I've already got the 1.5 inches in there, I'm going to drill this one on that part. And we're going to drill down roughly probably 2.5 inches. So then that's why it's a good idea to have your quill with measurements on there. And this is the top, or the base of it. So we got to drill, oh, never mind. I got to put the 1.5 inches in there because I can drill the top of that. I'm glad I checked that. So you can tell this ain't rocket scientist, because I would be lost here if that was the case. So you want to drill the larger hole first because that just lines everything up. So that's why I'm switching back to the 1.5. Again, this is going down a 1/4 inch. So I'll line her up, get everything square, back off. All right. And my drill bit is not quite exactly tight, so tighten her up. 1/4 inch it is. Here we go. There is an 1/8. And there's my 1/4. All right, so now we can switch it back to the 1/8 inch bit, or 1 1/16 bit, and drill our center out. You know, this is not the only way to turn these Peppermills. It's just the way that I like to do it. You know, you can do it all right here between centers if you like. However you feel you need to do it. This is just the way I done it. I like the way it works. It's easy. Keeps everything true for me. There's 1 inch. And sorry about the squeaking noise. So we're going to go down another inch. And this clear walnut's fairly soft, so it works out pretty well. All right, clean that out. And we're only going to be able to go down about another 1/4 inch or so, because the thing's going to bottom out in there. Right there it is. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that part. Now, we got to flip it over and drill from the other side now. All right, see, we got that much done. So now we flip it around. All right. So, all right, so now we got to switch over because we got to drill a 1.5 inch on the bottom for the bottom of the Peppermill, which is going to take this part in. So this has got to fit in there. So I use my 1.5 inch Forstner bit. And this one here is going to be about 3/8 of an inch. This got to go in the bottom because it's a little deeper because of the fact we're going to have to put that in there and we're going to have to put the screws in. We don't want the screws sticking out in the bottom. So, all right, so we're touching everything square. Here we go. 3/8 of an inch. Eighth inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/8 inch. Right there we be. Okay. Pull that back. Now we got to switch the drill bits to the 1/16. All right. And this way we're going to go meet in the middle here. All right. Here we go again. So just nice and easy. Like I said, I've already drilled into the other side. So I'm just meeting in the middle there. And you'll be able to tell once you go through. Right there I just broke through. So, all right, we're done drilling. Done drilling. Here we go. All right, so at this point, we're done drilling. We're going to pull this off. So I'm going to stop for a second here. I'm going to pull my chuck off, take this off, put my mandrel on, and I'll show you how to set that up. So hang tight. So here we are. I got my mandrel in, my pen mandrel. So this is my bottom. I'm going to put that up there. And these are set right inside there. So basically what it is it sets in there kind of like so, and it doesn't move. Okay. So I got this one here. This is my bottom. Put that on there. And I got this one here that will go in this. Make sure I get the right end there. So this has got to go in there like so. And this one will go on top of there. And in here I've got what they call a drive for a pen mandrel. It's got a hole in the center to recess that. I got this piece here, which will go in the end of that. And then I put my washer on there, and you can see I've got top written on there. So if I have to look at it, I can see that it's the top. Run that up there and pull this up, and this will hold this between centers. So I lined up my grain so that I knew exactly where I'm at. So this is my bottom, and the grain, everything lines up this way, and we're good to go. Okay, so now we just have to shape the Peppermill. So I'm going to finish rounding it and then get a good shape on it. So I'm going to start with my top. What the top will look like. All right. I'm going to take and put your face shield on, and let's get this shaped up. So make sure everything's tight. We're good. And we're just going to round this over a little bit. Get this round. I'll put this here. For me, I like the top of the Peppermill to see or be a little bit smaller than the lower part of the Peppermill. So that gives it a little bit more of a feel. So I'm going to make this smaller than that. Okay, and so I want to take and put kind of a bead on this, and then I'll curve that around like so. So I'm going to move my tool rest down, and I'm going to use my spindle gouge to give me a little bit of shape on that. And we'll get that squared around to there. I'm going to get it around so it's right on my bushing there. And I want to put, something like this. I want to round it. Again, it's kind of like tool handling. You just got to finesse a little bit. That's one reason I like doing that, because if I get a cut like that, it'll stop the wood and won't give me any huge chips, huge cuts. Okay, I'm going to fine tune that with my smaller spindle gouge. Here. Okay, so that's kind of the idea for the top I want. Leave that at that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of do the same thing, make a bead here that will transition from the base into the top. And you can see where my mark is, but when I take this off, I'll clean that edge up and make it transition between the two a little bit better. So I want to do the top, but I want to finish making it round. So you see this flat spot, I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to move this over, and I don't want to take a lot off the base here because I want the base just to be a little bit thicker than the top. So I am going to take this and I'm going to round it till I get her just nice and round. Here we go. Go this way. This to be a little bit. I want this to be about the same size as that, but thicker than down here. Just for look, feel, however you want to look at it. All right, take a little bit off down here. Okay, and now I want to drop that down. Okay, so I want to round this over into there, make a little bead out of that. So, take my spindle gouge and just making a bead there. And you can see when I'm turning and rolling a bead, how I'm turning my spindle gouge and riding that bevel, and I'm just kind of floating around the corner there a little bit. Okay, I like the way that looks. So now I'm going to move my tool rest just a hair down, and you see nice clean cut there. So now I want to taper this into that. So I'm actually going to do the two beads down here. Do a little bit of a bead down there and a dress up there. So I want this here. Turn this into that. That's a little bit down in here. Yep, it's shading on me there. Okay, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do a little swooping cut here. Now I'm going to go back to my skew and I'm going to taper this into that other part. So I can taper it. I want to make sure I ain't got any, yeah. All right, so we're going to taper that. I'm going to use my skew and I'm going to taper this into there. So here we go. Okay, I want to get rid of that a little bit. So I'm going to go this way and just kind of take that away. And one last pass here. This side of here. Okay. Now I got to clean that up, and I want to make that round right there to give it, and it looks pretty darn good. There's see a little void in there. We'll fill that with a little bit of CA glue. Clean that up. So right now I just want to make this a little bit of a bead. Transition between there. Sorry about that if I didn't have my face shield down for you. I was seeing it through my face shield. Okay, I just want to clean this edge up. Like that. There is basically almost our finished product. We're going to do a little bit of sanding on that, clean that up, not much because it's pretty nice and smooth. So I'm going to take this off here, put my chuck back on, and then we'll do some sanding and I'll show you what we're doing with that. All right, so hang tight. All right, so we got it back in my chuck here. I guess I should have showed you how I put that in there. I'll do it. I got to flip it around anyway and do it. So what I want to do is take this edge off and taper this so when it sits on the table, it's not sitting on a real flat surface. So you can see it's a little bit off. That's why I don't want to take much off. Actually, let's square that up a little bit so that it'll line up better. So, roll my tailstock up in there. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's better. And it looks like this is not perfectly flat, is why we're getting that wobble. So that's no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that edge off. I'm going to clean that up. So you want to do real light cuts with this. You see how it's not in there. I'm going to taper this a little bit in there. I'm going to take off that little bit right there. I'm going to take and use the side of my tool. Okay, so that would be that. And now I'm going to do a little sanding on that and clean that up. So I got my sandpaper here and my dust mask. Make sure you wear your dust mask. This stuff here is pretty dusty. So wear your dust mask. And I'm going to start with about 120. And all I'm going to do is sand it up through here. I'm going to get probably up to this mark and then we'll go from there. So that's basically all we're doing. Again, I'm not going really fast. I'm just kind of nice and easy. Sand out any marks that I got there. Let's do it in reverse. Makes life a lot easier. And if you don't have reverse, don't fret. You know, you can still sand on a lathe. Just reverse makes it a little bit easier. You can work on this side. I'm trying not to lose my details on this. Alright, and I'll continue to sand this up to 320, and I guess you probably don't want to sit there and watch me sand, so I will pause it real quick here, and we'll go from there. So, alright, so here we are. We're just going to finish up the top piece here. I got it in my chuck, and I'll finish this off, and then we'll do a little sanding, and we'll be all set. So all I'm doing is trying to round this off. And since this is the part that goes into the bottom, I want to taper it just a hair. I want to taper it so it lines up. And that way when it fits in there, it'll be nice and smooth. And you just gotta be careful when you're doing it in this. I'll show you what I did here in 1 second. Okay, so I'll do a quick sanding. 120. The tool rest out of the way. And just quick sanding on this. But just a quick explanation here. This is just one style of Peppermill / salt shaker that's out there. There's all kinds of them out there. It's just one that I had on hand. I thought would be an interesting project for us to do today. So, and this is not the only way to do it. And I've said that many a times that, you know, it's just the way I like doing it. Not right or wrong. It's just the way I like doing it. I find it works easy for me, you know. There's no right or wrong answer to it. Just how I like to do it. And this was 120 sandpaper. I'm at 150. This kit, I believe, came from Penn State wood turning. But there's other places to get them other than there. Very easy to do. Simple little project that I enjoy doing, and it looks nice, you know. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got another style of Peppermill or grinder that I might try to do a video on. Again, that was 120. So when I put this in here to explain this, because I don't think I explained it earlier, I stuck this in there, and what I did was I expanded my jaws into that. So I stuck it up there. I ran my tailstock up to that. That's why I got the cone in. That lines it up there, and then I just expanded the jaws into this, pull my tailstock out of the way, and you can see how secure it is. So that's that part right there. So that being said, this is the top. So this piece here sets down in like this. Sits in there, and that'll be glued onto there. And then this will fit down in top of that. You can see how that fits there. Top piece here goes on top of that. Lines up like that. And then there's a bottom piece that goes in here with all the mechanism and everything, and that sits down in there, like so. And then that would fit on top of there. So the mechanism comes with the rod, top, the screw here. We're going to put it together real quick here for you. This is your grinding mechanism. There's your spring that holds the tension. So we put that through there. Goes clear through that. It'll come out the top. And we put the nut on the top. And that would go in there like so. And obviously the tighter you screw the top, tighter that would get in there. And it puts in there, and then you just turn this piece here, and that turns the grinder part. But I don't have the other piece glued in there. That's why it's not turning. So that would be this. The reason is, I guess I'd better explain why it's not turning, so people don't really get freaked out over that. If this is in here and this is turned solid, you'll see how I'm turning this piece here, which this is screwed into there. So this piece here actually sets in this like this. And then there's 3 screws, tighten that in there. So this piece is solid, it can't move. You fill your salt in there. You put your pepper in there. This goes on top of there. Put your lid over top, and then put this on there. So that is the Peppermill salt grinder combo. So just real quick, once again, put it together and show you what it looks like. And like I said, this piece here will go on the bottom here to put this, hold that right there. So that'll go like that. So pause 1 second here. So there's our Peppermill right there, Peppermill salt shaker combo. They're a fun little project, nice thing. This is Clara walnut. When I get the walnut done, I will take and do a video on putting some of these kits that I've done here in the last couple weeks together, and that way you can see the finished project on that. Hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something from it. Like I said, this is not the only way to do this. It's just the way I do it. Take it for what it's worth, and feel free to like it, subscribe, share it with other people, you know, express your interest. Give me a thumbs up, and you know, let me know where you're from, what you think. Send me a comment, send me an email of what your thoughts are. Maybe you want to see me do something different. You know, I try to do something different each week to give a little bit of variety to the channel. Hopefully you like it, share it, subscribe it, and hope to see you next time around. Apologize for the long video. I think this was about a 45-minute video. And have a good day. Thank you. And don't forget, make yourself a little man glitter. Have a good day.